Today's voiceover talent is more than just a pretty voice. Today's voiceover talent has to be a boss, a VO boss. Set yourself up with business owner strategies and success with your host, Anne Ganguzza, along with some of the strongest voices in our industry. Rock your business like a boss, a VO boss.
Hey guys, before we get started on today's episode, we want to share some boss solutions and some of the ways you can have more boss in your life.
Oh, come on. You can never have too much boss, my little entrepreneurs.
After an extended period of time in my studio, Gabby, sometimes I just get really dry and my vocal cords are just tired. So if you guys are interested in getting some essential oil organic solutions for vocal health, hop on over to the voboss.com shop page and you can select from a variety of different natural health homeopathic products to help you with your vocal health. We've got a vocal immunity blast, we've got a vocal wellness kit, which has all the products in the line, as well as vocal booth breeze, vocal H2O, and our bestseller, the vocal throat spray.
Anne has long been supplying these products to voice actors, and I can tell you firsthand, they're awesome. And if you're looking for solutions to keep your instrument in top shape, this is a great way to do it. Go to voboss.com, go to the shop tab, and check out Boss Essentials.
Welcome, everybody, to the VO Boss Podcast. I'm your host, Anne Ganguzza, along with my BFF Bossy, Gabby Nistico. Hey, Gabby.
Hey, Anne.
You know, Gabby, I'm actually laughing, but honestly, like earlier this morning, I was really in a bad mood, like really annoyed.
Why? What happened? Why were you annoyed?
You know, I have this client that I'm trying to schedule a session with, and they are not getting back to me, and I'm just like, I'm so annoyed. I'm like, and I have to I think I have to really start being assertive, Gabby.
You're usually a pretty assertive woman. I don't know. I think you've got to get in touch with your inner boss and get this train on the right track, woman.
All right. So here's the deal. Like, how assertive should I be? I think we should talk about that today. Is being assertive like a good thing, a bad thing? How assertive should I be? And I don't know. Is it bad to be a bitch? Can I say that?
I don't know. Can you? Can you say bitch and not cower and do what you just did? Because that's not assertive at all.
I did. I cowered. I cowered. See, I did not know my limits. I did not know my limits.
My goodness, woman. Look, I do think this is a fascinating conversation. And I think as business owners, we have to talk about assertiveness, not only from the standpoint of our relationships with our clients, but also with vendors, with other people whose cooperation we need to do business. And there's two really distinct, really important sides to this that I do believe are the battle of the sexes, right? So men typically are received better when they are assertive, and women
not so much. They're quick to be labeled.
Yeah, we get labeled the bitch, right?
Absolutely.
So let's start with what you just said. Is there anything wrong with being assertive, with standing up for yourself, with knowing your value, knowing your worth, with your limitations? You
know, you and I are so together, so forward thinking about, know your worth and, charge what you're worth. And I think there is a place where we're really confident. And I think assertiveness can come from that place when you're confident. And you're confident in your value and you're confident in what you do. And so I guess I never thought about it as being assertive so much as being confident of your value and this is what I'm worth. And so therefore, anything that's taking place in this transaction, right, is going to be okay because I'm confident about my worth and I'm confident about my value, and the client respects that. I think that's already a two-way street when that happens. But when you're feeling like the client is not respecting you or respecting your time, at what point or how far do you go in being assertive?
Hearing you say all of that, I kind of wonder. I sit back and I go, is it really confidence or do I just not care?
Well, now there's the other end of it.
In a weird way,
yep.
Seriously. I think about it and I go, okay, when I state my rates, my hours of operation, my procedural policies, my whatever, even when I'll work and how, am I being assertive or am I just setting my limits and not really caring. I don't care. I don't care how the other person perceives them. I don't care if they like my policies or not. I don't care if they agree with them or not. They're mine. That's how it goes. So
see, now there's a confident statement. But Gabby, what if you lose the job? What if you lose the gig? I know that a lot of our listeners out there are thinking exactly that. Like, okay, I can be assertive, but I really, you know what? I want to develop a relationship, and I want this job because, maybe I need this job, or maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just trying to build a clientele.
I spent many, many years on the other side of the fence in casting. And one of the things I learned is that at any given moment, we are contenders for jobs that we never find out about. We lose jobs pretty regularly that we didn't even know existed. Because that's part of what your representation, whether it be casting party, an agent, another third party, maybe at a production studio, whoever's negotiating on your behalf and is the key holder of that job, they are setting limitations and being assertive on your behalf. And if terms aren't met, well, then the job is simply never brought to your attention. So I sort of adopted this mentality a long time ago of every day I'm potentially losing a job that I didn't know about, or that so I don't really worry about that. I go, that's going to happen. That's the nature of this industry. And sometimes you lose a job for no reason.
And you never know why.
Right. It's just we went another direction. If I had $1 for every time when I was in casting that I heard someone say we went another direction, oh my God, I'd have a lot of money.
Yeah. Well, But now, Gabby, you're speaking from experience, which is great as a casting director. But what about everybody that's just getting into the industry and is just now, kind of feeling their way out and setting their rates and, negotiating with the client and dealing with the clients for the first time? They don't necessarily have that experience. So what would you say are some tips in dealing with a client who may be difficult, or a client that may be, I don't know, not responding, and it's affecting your schedule, it's affecting it doesn't appear to be valuing you or your time?
I think you have to, again, know your personal limits. What is acceptable and what isn't? Where are you willing to give and take, and where are you not? If you give in or you concede to someone else's terms and they don't sit well with you, you're going to be left feeling horrible about the job. Nothing is ever going to make it right. Nothing is ever going to make you see it differently. You've just got such a bad taste about it now that's ultimately, I think, what we're all striving for, is to feel good at the end of the day about the choices that we made, and knowing that it's right for us.
Yeah.
And it's different talent to talent, person to person. My limits now, after 20 plus years in the industry, are going to be completely different than someone who's just starting out.
I think you're learning about your own limits as well. And especially because if it's your first time being in your own business as an entrepreneur and working for yourself and negotiating for yourself and, wearing all the hats, I think that it is a learning experience. And I think it's a good one in actuality. And I don't know if I ever have stopped learning after all these years, but I have absolutely learned myself and know what it is that I will stand for and what I won't. And I love that you put that whole spin on it. Do you care? In a positive way. Because sometimes you can't let it affect you. And if you do accept a job or treatment from a client that is less than desirable, you are going to have that bad feeling. And who wants to feel bad about that? I've turned away clients that in the end, I was so thankful. It was like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders, and my assertiveness in that respect, really, in the fact that I didn't care after I had put up with so much of it. At one point, I was like, "All right, that's it." I've the straw that broke the camel's back, and so that made me feel really great. So I think that in terms of being assertive and is there a limit, it doesn't make you a bad person. I think it's a journey, a learning journey, and it makes you a better business person, actually.
And this is again where I bring it back to the difference between men and women. I think when guys are assertive, People see them as solid business owners. People see them as being confident, very knowledgeable in their craft.
That's a power. It's a power.
It is. It's a power play. It's a good position. Women, on the other hand, tend to become, I don't know,
labeled.
Almost feel bad. Well, beyond the
Sometimes.
labels, women tend to feel bad about being in that assertive position and about asking for what it is they need or want. And traditionally, we are more likely to cave because of people-pleasing pasts. One of the things that I absolutely adore, it was many, many years ago when Tina Fey and Amy Poehler were still together on Saturday Night Live. Tina Fey did this phenomenal bit about being a bitch. And she was hysterical. And she goes, "This one's a bitch. I'm a bitch. We're all bitches. And guess what? Bitches get done."
Yeah.
I think it became my mantra, like right then and there. Bitches get done. And it is sad that in a way, a lot of people will see assertion and will see a woman who stands up for what she believes as a bitch. But you know what? That's their problem.
But you know what, Gabby? Then you'll get the other side of the coin where you'll get the people who will respect it. And those are the people that I think, and those are the clients, and those are the people that you want to surround yourself. And you know, let's extend this beyond, as you were saying, not just clients, but vendors, people you work with on a day-to-day basis. I think that's who you want to surround yourself with. Obviously, those people that are going to respect you and value your services, value your time, and not take advantage of that.
Yeah. But I know you and I have both had instances where, because we asserted our opinion, our thoughts, whatever, we were very quickly sort of put in that position of going, wait a second. Just because I'm asking for what I need or want right now does not make me a bad guy. Yeah.
Exactly.
And that is so critical for everyone to remember. Assertiveness is not just about our day-to-day as business owners, even though that's where we flex that muscle the most. Assertiveness also happens in our day-to-day life when you effectively and clearly communicate to someone else what your needs are, whether it be a spouse or a family member or even a child. You are being assertive. It's not wrong to say, this is what I need right now.
It actually is something that I think you can put in practice in all aspects of your life. And it only serves, I believe, to enhance your life and to enhance your relationships with your clients, with your family, with your friends. And, you know, gosh, I'm all for it, Gabby. I'm all for it.
I am too. And I think that assertiveness and confidence, they do go hand in hand, but it's a practice makes perfect scenario as a business owner.
Isn't that the truth?
The more you practice assertiveness and the more you perfect your technique of assertion, the better you're going to be. And the more comfortable it's going to become for you.
And I think that there's a way to execute assertiveness in a positive manner. It doesn't have to be like all up in your face, yelling, screaming, angry type of thing. I think that assertiveness, a quiet assertiveness, and again, I'm going to say that word, confidence, and a quiet assertiveness that stems from confidence, or even if you don't feel that confident, a lot of times, you know, I'm faking that confidence, and that's kind of something that kind of propels me forward and helps me to grow, because even if I don't feel that confident, I am trying to talk myself into that confidence, and that helps me to grow. And so again, it's like a practice situation in all aspects of my life. And you're right, being very clear about what your needs are, and then listening and respecting, you know, that response and going back and forth in a positive, respectful manner, I think is a great way to be assertive, and not necessarily, you know, the type of assertiveness that comes from yelling or screaming or, you know, calling names or, you know, any type of that sort of thing. So
that's not assertion, that's bullying.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. There's a whole nother term for that.
Oh, totally.
So Gabby, I'm going to be assertive and say this was a great podcast.
I'm also going to be assertive and say that you're kind of like the Amy Poehler to my Tina Fey, which I sort of love.
Ah, my bestie. Great
Yeah.
episode. Big thanks to our sponsor, IPDTL, for our quality connection and recording. You too can record like a boss by going to IPDTL.com. And also,
Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Stitcher, iTunes. There's a plethora of ways. We're also now on Google Play and
Spotify.
And Spotify. And
Woo.
of course, there's the VO Boss website, voboss.com, for all things boss, and ways for you guys to, especially iTunes listeners, to rate our podcast. Please
Yes,
make sure to
please.
do that.
Please go and rate us. It's super simple to
Yeah.
do from your app. Basically, there's just a ratings right at the bottom. So make sure to give us lots of good stars and actually write something. That would be awesome. We've already got some really great reviews up there, and it would really help us out.
And if you want to take this topic of assertion to an even further level, make sure to check out some of the products and services at VO Boss University, where
Yes.
we get into all kinds of ways to be assertive, probably the most important, negotiations.
There you go. Assert your bossness. Check out all of our products on negotiating. We've got a webinar that's available, as well as being assertive with getting your business out there with a Boss Blast or a Book Out Builder.
Thanks for listening, guys. Have a great week.
All right, guys, have a great week, and we'll see you next week.
Join us next week for another edition of VO Boss with your hosts, Anne Ganguzza and Gabby Nisterko. All rights reserved. Anne Ganguzza voice talent in association with 3 Moon Media. Redistribution with permission. Coast-to-coast connectivity via IPDTL.
I can't. I'm waiting till the last second to turn my fan off because holy shit, it's hot in here.
Why is it hot? What is it?
My booth is a oven.
Is it hot where you are now?
Because there's no ventilation.
Yeah, I don't have ventilation in mine either.
Yeah.
So I booked a job. Rather than having us go to San Diego, and it's me and Milton. So I'm shopping for a mattress, and it's a big mattress. It's a big mystery to me. So Milton is my husband, and Milton Lawrence. If you don't know him, he's adorable. He's one of my favorite people. I've known him forever. He's been in the business for a long time. He's super talented. So she schedules it for my booth. I like Milton, but his wife might have a problem because we'll be touching. Like, we will be in contact. Like, our bodies in more than one place.
Yeah.
Will be in contact if we are in this booth together. You know what I mean?
Lewis and I, it's so funny to do anything in tandem in the booth. Like, it's hysterical.
Hard, and you've got a bigger booth than mine.
I do, but he has to like squat because I'm so much shorter than him. So he has to do this like big, wide, like football stance and like squat down. It's hysterical to watch.
Oh my God.
It's
I can only imagine. I must have a picture of that the next time from the behind. Nothing.
All right. So
Okay,
what
let's
episode are
talk
we
about-
doing? Are we doing bitchiness here? I think. Well, no, I don't know what I'm saying here.
I know, right? What do we think? Have a great shit. What is wrong with me on the ending? Sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm like screwing up the end. What's wrong with
It's
me?
okay. No worries.
What's wrong with me?
I don't know.
Sorry, you're gonna have to edit that a lot.